Here we go. We live. Hey, hi everyone. You're watching ODUNDE365 Entrepreneur Spotlight. I'm your host. I'm putting my camera together. See me, Lord. I'm your host, Oshunbumi Fernandez West, CEO of Odunde. And I'm so excited this evening to have Lene. I've known Lene since she was, I don't want to say how long I've known Lene, but Lene, I'm going to let you just, I'm going to let you speak about who you are, the name of your company. Give us the name of your company.
So, hi, my name is Lene Meadows, and the name of my company is Janelle's Closet. It's an online boutique specializing in streetwear.
Specializing in streetwear. So, Lene, I'm so excited to have you because we just want to highlight all the entrepreneurs out there. I think that's so important. Due to the pandemic, everyone is pivoting and moving in all different directions. But I think it's key that we highlight different entrepreneurs to say how you're surviving, how you're maintaining. And so this is going to be a wonderful night for you to explain who you are, why you created your business, and just let everyone know how they can support you. Okay?
Okay, yes.
So, Lene, tell everybody the name of your business and why you started your business.
So the name of my business is Janelle's Closet. And I started my business because I always had a passion for, honestly, it started out just me being organized and me being bossy and having a passion for fashion. So exactly today, 6 years ago today, in 2014, I started my business. I originally was working in education with the school district of Philadelphia, and I just decided that it wasn't a good place for me. I always had passion for working with children, but my passion for fashion was stronger. So honestly, I quit my job. I did not have a plan originally. I'm just like, I want to do something. But all I knew was what I had. So I had a bunch of clothes, bags, shoes, and I started out actually doing consignment. So the name came from literally my closet. At the time, I was living at my mom's house, and I had a room full of things that I just purchased and I never used. So they were, sitting there piling up. They were really nice items. I used to like to thrift. So I decided, let me just start an online boutique. One of my closest friends, she had a friend who already had a consignment shop, and I was nervous about asking for help. And she honestly, with open arms, a stranger I didn't know, she showed me how to set up. I think it was on Big Cartel originally. And I took pictures with, it might have been an iPhone 2 or 3. It was like one of the original iPhones. I laid everything out on a board, took pictures of it, and I started uploading it. And these are items that were mine, so secondhand items. And people started buying them. Mails, I would sell phone cases, clothing, hats, bags. I would go to thrift shops, just find different antiques and sell them. And what I did was, to get myself out there, I would go to everybody else's event, and I had one shirt that I bought from Target. And I went down South Street. I got the word Janelle's Closet printed on the front of it. And it was a conversation piece. So I would go to people's events, and they would say, what's Janelle's Closet? So I would give them the spill. It's a secondhand shop, giving items a second chance at life. And then eventually they would say, how can I, support you? How can I buy these items? And I would give them my website. Now, eventually, all of the items from my closet, because they were my items, I didn't have doubles of them. So it forced me to actually go from creating a hustle to an actual business. So I started looking at wholesalers. I actually went and got my business license and just started networking with different people. And it transitioned from a consignment shop to me actually printing and designing my items.
Wow. So it's so funny how you say, like, you just really, for lack of better words, you jumped out the window with it. You didn't know where it was going to take you. Like you said, you had a 9-to-5 job. You were comfortable. You said, you know what, I'm just going to do this. How did you raise the startup money to start your company?
So the startup money, it was no funding, in the beginning. It was just the items that I had. So what I did was, the first item that I sold, I took that item and I flipped the money to buy more stuff. So once I sold everything out the closet, all of the income that I used from my closet, I took that to then go thrifting to buy more items, to buy different sell items. I figured out like what margins was. I started looking at companies like eBay, Amazon. What are people buying these items for, so that I'm not marking it up too high, but I'm still creating a profit for something that people want.
Wow. So, like you said, do you think if you knew anyone like in the banking business, would you have taken out a loan? Or did you like it not owing money? Some people, like me, I don't like owing money. So I'm going to do it from the muscle. You know what I mean? How about
Mm.
you?
So for me, I actually like doing it from the muscle as well, because it taught me about money management. Because I'll say it took me my first 2 years in business to actually figure out a system on how to track my money, because I would make it. I could sell stuff out the trunk of my car all day long, but then I would
Yes,
go and
yes,
I would spend it. I would go out and eat. I would go out with my friends, and I
yes.
didn't see it. So I'm like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. So that's when I started networking with other people who had systems in place. And the best system that worked for me was PayPal Business, but it was all my own financing. Now, where I'm at in business now, I would look into a loan, because I'm trying to branch off from actually printing myself and go into manufacturing. Just, with me growing, because the business is growing, it sometimes gets really hard to actually sit and press and print up everything. I like putting that love into it, but with the business growing, I feel like it's time for me to expand and look into manufacturing.
Wow, this is great. Now, you told us how you created the name. Is the whole? How did you create the whole name? Is that your middle name?
Yeah, so my name is Lene Janelle, so that's where El Janelle's Closet came from. And I decided to put that together because so many people, my whole life, because the way my name is spelled, Ligene, is Ligny. So no one pronounced it the right way. So I was like, you know what? I'll shorten it up. You know, as people get to know the company, they'll actually associate it with my name. So everybody knows Lene, but just like this, they'll say, oh, El Janelle, or El Janelle's Closet.
Yes, yes. That's great. Okay, great. So tell us all of the products that you provide, because you also, Lene, you have another one called Every All Things Custom. So tell us all the products and services that you provide. Please tell the audience.
Yeah, so all custom everything, that's a custom printing business. And that was a snowball effect from El Janelle's Closet. I started printing my own clothes, with my own design. And then there were people who wanted specialty items, which turned into, hey, can you print my stuff? And in the beginning, I was just printing. But then my customers were getting confused, like, wait, is this yours? You got it all on your page. And I had to learn how to separate the two. So that's when I came up with the online printing shop. So I ship worldwide. And the items, they vary from book bags, tote bags, literally anything you can customize. I've done cars, storefronts. We have embroidery services, screen print, vinyl, and it's all online. It benefited me during the pandemic to be online, because I already had that in place with the transition everybody was going through.
Yes.
Being online was just a blessing, especially during these past few months.
I want to tell everyone, so you are self-taught. Because you know that there's silk screening, there are silk screening, vinyl printing classes, schools. You are self-taught. So let's talk about that. How was that process for you?
So for me, I'm the type that I can watch you do something and then I can do it myself. Google was my best friend. YouTube was my best friend. And then
Okay.
with building the different networks, what I would do is I would start following people that had print shops.
Yes.
And I would start just, picking their brain, asking questions. I reached out to other streetwear vendors to ask them how they did it. And a lot of them, believe it or not, because I was really scared at first, they would show you. A lot of people, if you just ask, even with myself, I had people who ask me, they'll tell you how to do it. And then they put you in rooms with other people. So I started going to a t-shirt wholesale convention. It happens
Wow.
once or twice a year.
Not that big one in
It
Vegas. That big one in Vegas, Renee?
is
The
one in
Magic
Vegas,
Pro.
not the magic show, but there's
Okay, okay.
another one that they have for wholesaling and
Yes.
printing that happens in Atlantic City. And I started going there. And when you go there, for me, it was I was the youngest person in the room. A lot of people did not look like me, so everybody was shocked. But I fit right in. I asked the questions, and I'm like, I belong here, even if they knew more than me. I
That's
felt
right.
confident
That's
being
right.
in
You
the
owned
room.
it. That's
Yeah, and just
right.
asking those questions. And what I noticed, which is where I'm at right now, I saw so many different people who did the same thing that I was doing, but they were doing it a whole lot smarter, spending a whole lot less
That's money.
money
Yes.
and time. So being around a bunch of different individuals from different backgrounds, a lot of them were very old and they've been doing it for years. I was like a sponge, just soaking it all in. And I started building just a collection of different printout sheets that they would give you. A lot of them want you to subscribe to their site because everything is virtual nowadays. And they had virtual classes. So it was just the process of teaching myself. And it gets frustrating a lot of times because things are constantly changing. So you have to adapt to the way that the environment is changing.
And that's what we're going to get into when we get into this pandemic, because the pandemic really just threw a monkey wrench in everyone's plans, you know?
Yeah.
So, where can people, what is the purpose of your product? What would you say the purpose of your product is? To uplift the
Well,
community? You know what I mean? Tell us the purpose of your project.
so it's look good, feel good. So when I say look good, feel good, everybody wants a specialty item. Everybody wants to look their best. They want to walk outside and have an item that makes them stand out. And that was
Yes.
part of the custom part of my business. It's like I can print 1,000 shirts that has my signature logo. But when you ask me, hey, I just grabbed these sneaks, can you customize them? That makes that person, that individual, feel like the star of the show when they're walking down the street. And that's what I try to connect people to. Even with myself, there are days where you may not feel yourself, but then there are days when you get dressed from head to toe and it's like, this is it. So when I create items, and it's really special to me because I'm hand making every item, I feel like it makes the customer feel good.
Wow, that is great. That's great. Like you said, you just don't know how your product or your services can lift someone's spirit, especially during these trying times, you know?
Yes.
So, who inspires you? Who inspires you, Lene? Who inspires you?
Ooh, there are a lot of people. So some of the people, I would say Anissa Hilton, Dapper Dan, April Walker from Walker Wear, Carl Kanan. A lot of these people are people who paved the way for streetwear when that wasn't a part of fashion that people, smiled upon. It wasn't something that was recognized. It was something that was attached to hip hop and it took off from there. So I was just, doing a lot of studying of the different streetwear people from the past and just seeing how that transitioned into today. And history repeats itself. But there are a lot of things that I see and I watch. I'm like, my brother, he had that on when he was in high school, but now we're creating the same thing.
Wow.
So that's some of
So
the people
funny.
I still watch their pages and just see what they're doing and how they're transitioning.
Wow. It's so funny talking about Misa Hilton. I was watching a documentary about her, and she was saying at one point she was homeless. She was living out her car. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So everyone has a story. You know what I mean? And Carl Kanai, Fubu, all those type of companies were all streetwear. You know what I mean? And they made millions and millions of dollars. You know what I mean?
mm.
So how are you pivoting during this pandemic? Tell us how you're pivoting during this pandemic, Lynette.
So right now is the season where it's picking up because it's changing. Now, I would say the past 3 months, it was really slow. When the pandemic first hit, I actually was in Atlanta. I was trying out a different market. And in Atlanta, it was really fast paced. Custom clothing was very different in Atlanta than in Philadelphia. So I had to figure out where to fit in. So the pandemic hit, got really strong. I say April, May, June, and it was really slow. I really had customers. So my way of connecting with my customers was through email, social media, just staying active and connecting with them. It was a point where I felt like, oh my goodness, are we going to come out of this? Our customers going to start shopping again? But it was just like, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep posting. Eventually, it'll pick up. And I say maybe 2.5 weeks ago, it picked up for me again because now it's getting chilly and everybody wants sweatshirts. Everyone wants hoodies. So that's how I just transitioned. But connecting with people through my email subscription, joining different lives, it definitely helped me.
Sorry, everyone. We had some technical difficulties. Thank God to my tech team, my sons. It froze. Are we back on, everyone? Can everyone see us? Lene, you froze. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, good. Sorry, everyone. We had some technical issues. Thank God for my tech team, my sons, Nee and Bio. Thank you. Oh my God. Can everyone see us? I'm not sure we're back on.
I believe we're live.
Can your mom see us? Can everyone see us? Hi, everybody. We're back on, everyone. Can everyone see us? Sorry. Let me see. We're back on, everybody. Okay. Okay. Sorry, everybody. We had some technical difficulties. I don't know what happened there. Thank you. Lene, I apologize for that. I'm sorry. We had some technical issues with my son. My son moved my son. It's my tech team right here, my sons. Okay. All right. So everyone, thank you so much for okay, we're back on. Thank you, everyone. I apologize for that, for the technical issues that was on my end. I apologize for that. My tech team, they troubleshooted and brought us right back. Shout out to Nee and Bio. So back then we were just talking about the pandemic. Lene said, Lene, tell us about the pandemic, Lene, and how has it affected you? Good and bad. Good and bad, Lene.
Right. So I would say the bad part about it was just business slowing up for me. And when it slowed up because no one, including myself, knew how to adapt to it, it puts you in like a really somber place. I know it put me in a really somber place because I'm just like, okay, what's next? What is going on? None of us have ever been through a pandemic, so we didn't know what was next. So I wasn't in a creative space. I'm like, I don't know what to do next. I'm not giving up on it, but just trying to figure that process out of how do I move forward in a good way, because I've never been in that position before. It made me work harder. It made me figure out ways to get more creative, and it actually made me be more active online. I think I've sent out more emails and done more things on social media than I probably ever did before, because a lot of my business, I can link up with someone face to face. We're doing meetings, we're doing pop-up shops, but now that we all can't be around each other, it's like, how do I push my product and get it out there if we can't physically be around each other. We can't do these events.
Yes. How do you get your product out there? And that's what I think so many business owners and entrepreneurs were thinking. How do I pivot? How do I, you were saying that you went down to Atlanta, which we were talking about earlier. What difference did you see between in Atlanta? You said it was moving at a faster pace, customization is different. How is that Atlanta scene different for you?
I would say, so the customization part of it, when I think of custom up here, and it's, when I do custom in Philadelphia, we're changing colors, we're changing styles. It's really simple. When I got down there, the word custom means they're cutting something off, they're stitching fur on, they're adding a button. It's like, okay, I get it. So when they say custom, they really mean we're taking the collar off here and we're adding a denim collar. I went to a few print shops out there. They were really nice, open, and allowed me to come into the back and just see the way that they do stuff. We start following each other on social media. And some of the people that I visited down there, they're like, no, this is custom. Let me show you. And they pull out something that's like snake skin, and they're putting a snake skin patch over here. So I'm like, okay, now I have to figure out how to bring that back up north. So it was good.
Yes.
It was a different experience.
A different experience. Wow. So let's talk about, what advice would you give to new entrepreneurs? What advice would you give to new entrepreneurs?
The first thing I would say is plan. Find a day for you, self-care. And then if half of that self-care day is planning, like I said, when I first started, I did not have a plan. So just knowing that, okay, I don't have a job, but I have lots of bills. I have to pay those bills, which means I have to figure out how to make the money and stay relevant. So I would say plan. Like if you can write it down. Also, don't be scared to ask for help. Get a mentor, someone that you can reach out to, even if they're in a different field. It's something that they know that you don't know, and you'll be able to apply it and relate it to your business. Like some of the people that I reached out to, Tiffany from Belargo, she had Belargo University. That was very helpful, where she had weekly classes. I reached out to some of my friends who were in banking, so they had different financial advice, telling me, don't just go get that loan. Don't jump right out there and spend this money. So just networking with different people and asking questions. A lot of people will help you if you ask. Now, I will say, pay for what you want. There are things I invested in myself. There are some sessions that I went to that I paid for, and I earned, the opportunity to be able to reach out to them and not have to pay for some of those classes just for basic information. So I say invest in yourself and plan. You get what you pay for. What you put in is what you get out.
I think that's so key in regards to, like you stated, in regards to when you're paying for something, you're investing in yourself. And I'm so glad that you said that, Lene. You are truly investing in yourself when you pay for a class for marketing, when you pay for a class for branding, when you pay for a class for social media. You are investing in yourself. So don't look at it as I'm just putting this money out. No, you're investing in yourself. So that was so well said, what you said, in regard to say investing in yourself. What advice do you wish you would have received starting your business?
Let's see. I would have done more research on target audiences. I didn't know who or what my target audience was until maybe 3 years ago. It was like, who are you trying to sell to? Who would you like to see in your stuff, in your items? I could say, oh, well, everybody to wear it, and that's fine. You have to build up to that point. But is it 18 to 25-year-olds? Is it college students? Are you trying to sell to business professionals? I really had to figure that out. So I feel like that's something that I should have researched in the very beginning. Even with consignment, there's a whole world of people who only buy antique secondhand stuff because they can't find it in the store. So if I would have known to, go on those Facebook groups. I wasn't big on Facebook, but there are so many groups of these little cliques of people who only buy stuff like that, and then they pass your information, and that's how you grow. So I think for me, that would have been good to know in the beginning.
Wow, that is great. People want to know, Lene, where can they purchase your items? Can they follow you on your Instagram page and find out where to get your products from?
Yes, so everything, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook is attached to @LJanelle's Closet. My website is on all of those pages as well, and that's www.ljanellescloset.com.
Okay, good. Okay, great, great. So as we wind down, what are some lessons that entrepreneurship has taught you? What are some lessons entrepreneurship has taught you?
I would say be patient. That is the first thing, the entrepreneurship, because I felt like in the beginning, I'm going to start this business, this is going to take off. And no, entrepreneurship goes up and then it goes down. It goes up, it makes you want to give up. But if you know your purpose, then you stick to it and you won't give up. Just my high school yearbook quote was, I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I know the woman that I want to be. So I always keep that in mind so that I'm not giving up, because like I said, entrepreneurship, it'll get you to a point where it's like, I can't think of anything creatively. I don't feel like this is working. I want to give up, but you just don't. It'll come to you when you least
Yes.
expect it. A lot of my designs have came from, let's just say, a heartbreak, a job failure, equipment failing, things that were negative that I turned into a positive, and then those positives eventually bring dollars. I've started over so many times. I just haven't given up because I know what my long-term goal is. And I've been in business
And you
6
know
years,
that.
and each year I set a different goal for myself.
Mhm. And the key thing is that you see, the thing is that a lot of people look at social media, Instagram, it's just a picture. It's a 30-second video. It does not encompass someone's whole life. You know what I mean? So many people look at Instagram, look on internet and think, oh my God, someone's doing big time. No, you just saw a blip in their life. Like, it's just you saw a snapshot of their life. You know what I mean? It's not that deep, you know? So I thank
Mm-hmm.
you for being so transparent regarding letting people know that you're going to have your ebbs and your flows, you have your ups and your downs, and that everything's not going to go your way, but you got to know how to. I tell my children, you got to be more like water and not like concrete. You got to be able to move and shake as life throws you its punches. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what would you tell the young children out there who are listening, who are watching, who will watch this later on? What would you tell the young children out there who want to create their own business? What would you have told the 18-year-old Lynette?
The 18-year-old Renee, I would have definitely told her to step out on faith, instead of fear. You don't have to be put into a box. I went to school for social work. I would have never thought that I would have been in fashion and printing clothes. So, just stepping out and trying it. If it doesn't work the first time, it's okay. Try it again and try it again until you actually figure out what exactly you want to do, and stick with it and ask for help. Do not be afraid to ask for help. You don't have to do everything on your own. There are people out there, there are programs out there. I know for me, I made this little 8-page book that's also on my web page. If anybody wants it, the code is free during checkout. I made an 8-page book. It's called Things That Work for Me in My Business. And I literally just noted all the things that helped me start my business, from how to start a free website to how to secure your name so that no one else has your name, how to save your domain. Is a lot of different tips and tricks that I use to start my business. I just wrote them down. I just put it out there for free because I'm like, somebody else wants to start a clothing line. Somebody else wants to open up a retail business, and that's the information I can share with them.
Wow. Well, Lynette, thank you so much for joining us. Are there any final
Yeah.
words you want to tell everybody? Any final words?
No, thank you for having me. This was really good for me. I love the virtual, experience. So for me, this was good, especially with everything changing during COVID. So thank
Thank you so
you.
much. Yes. So everyone, please support her. In the comments, I put her website so you can go and support her. She does everything custom. She also has her own line. She does comments, consignment. Lynette does it all. I'm so proud of Lynette. I'm so proud of all the work that you're doing. You're young, you vibrate, you got it going on. I'm proud of you. Everybody, you're watching ODUNDE365. Shout out to her mom. You know, I got a nickname for your mom, but I'm not going to say that. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Mr. Donnie. Thank y'all all for watching. Thank you, everyone, for watching and supporting the ODUNDE 365 Fall Series. You're watching the ODUNDE 365 Entrepreneur Spotlight. Next week, we'll have another guest. Don't forget to follow us at ODUNDE Festival. We also have a YouTube channel, the official ODUNDE YouTube channel. So thank you so much for following us. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. with another entrepreneur. Again, if you're an entrepreneur, or you know someone who owns a business, just email us at odundefestival@gmail.com. Send us your name and your phone number, and someone will reach out to you. Hi, Carolyn Watson. Thank you for supporting Lene. Thank you, everybody. We'll see everybody next week. Thank you, Lene.
Thank
See you later.